Hi guys, I'm Jenny Harkleroad, owner of Balanced You. Happy to be here with you today with some very special guests who have something upcoming that I am so excited about. So I'm going to let them do their own introduction. So who are you guys? What are you doing on my Zoom?
So I'm Patrick Andrews, and I have a background in physics and biology, but I started teaching and studying metaphysics over 20 years ago. And that's about when Catherine and I met. We started working on developing our own school, which became intuitiveschool.com. So we've been doing that now for a little over 20 years. We teach classes and workshops online and also around the country.
And as said, I'm Catherine, his wife, and totally got immersed into understanding what is the mind, what is beyond the mind, which is the whole study of metaphysics.
I love that. So let's go a little deeper into that. So what is intuition?
So intuition is really our ability to access the information that is constantly coming to us every day from the subconscious mind. And it's a great tool that we have available. It is part of who we are. And so when we learn how to access that, it really can help propel us and take those leaps that a lot of times we're looking to make. So if you look at the conscious mind, we can describe the conscious mind as being local. So the conscious mind is focused mostly on the physical things, what we need to do physically to accomplish our goals and move forward in our life, whereas the subconscious mind is much more global. So it's oriented toward looking at the big picture. And so because of that, it often can see connections that our conscious mind can't see. And sometimes it sees things that our conscious mind cannot even comprehend, but it can give us that guidance. So when we learn how to tap into the subconscious mind and the intuition that's always coming to us, it can really help us make those leaps that a lot of times we're looking for.
I love that. So sometimes you hear people that say like they're intuitive, and it sounds like from what you're describing, maybe we all have that ability. So why do so many of us not hear this intuition?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. I'm just going to hit the top ones. One, I think, is all the distractions, technology being a major one. We check our devices, 15, 20 times per hour. Another big one is multitasking, the myth that we're going to get more done if we split our attention between 4 or 5 or more things. And that really blocks the intuition because we can't focus when we're multitasking. Another one is just the busy chatter in the conscious mind. So the average person has between 50 and 60,000 thoughts a day. So that's a lot of noise. A lot of that are repeated thoughts from the previous day. So they're like thoughts that are just constantly going. We're not even aware they're playing in the back of the mind. Every once in a while, when we get an original thought, it piques our interest, but we have that background of the continual. So those are some of the big things. So we teach how to clear that conscious mind so that we can get those messages.
I love that. So we use the word the brain and the mind and the subconscious and the superconscious, and there's all these different terms. So what's the difference between the brain and the mind?
So the brain basically cannot experience the things that the mind can, things such as joy, creativity, compassion, love. The brain is just this conglomeration of cells, similar to the cells in our skin and other parts of the body. So if you look at it this way, the brain basically just transmits thoughts. Like a television is just transmitting a show, but the television did not have the creativity to create the program that we're watching. So we want to go beyond the brain, which is just a switch we can turn on and off, to that deeper part of the mind, which is where the intuition subconscious resides.
I love that. So because you guys are so smart, I have asked you to teach a master class to my clients, and I'm so excited for it.
Yeah.
So what will you be teaching them?
So to begin with, we're going to be helping them to understand some easy gateway points to learning their intuition and connecting with that. So for example, one of the things we'll be offering is a quick way that you can start increasing your dream recall so that you can start interpreting your dreams. That's a really good gateway access point. Also, we're going to be teaching how to recognize the blocks that you have in your intuition so that you can start addressing that. I mean, like Catherine was talking about, the distractions and things like that. We really need to be able to understand what is blocking it, but then that opens up the door once we start developing what we would describe as like a more quiet mind, because there's just all this chatter usually that's going on in our mind. And then we can start really opening up the door to listening to our intuition, because it's always there working in the background, but it's a much quieter, softer voice. So we need to understand how to, first of all, quiet the mind so we can open up the door so that we can begin receiving that. But then once you do, we need to learn how to recognize when we are receiving intuition, because a lot of times in the beginning, especially when people aren't familiar with the concept of intuition or using that in their life for guidance, they might be getting those little signs, maybe it's a little quiet voice or just something that's kind of getting your attention in the background, and they might not even recognize it. But sometimes when they do, they might just kind of brush it off and say, oh, well, I don't even know what that is. There's no reason to really pay attention to it. But when we start paying attention to those things that are really giving us those little signs along the way, and we start taking action on it, they'll find pretty quickly that those little guidances are really helping them out, and they can learn how to use that much more intentionally.
And we are also going to teach them about what are some of the blocks to the intuition and how do we clear those blocks.
I love it. It sounds like it's going to be a fascinating masterclass. I can't wait for it. So who would be the type of person that would want to come to your class or benefit from your class? Who's the ideal candidate for this free masterclass?
Well, some of the things people might recognize is that maybe they have reached a certain point in their life where they feel like they've kind of lost their direction a little bit. And so they're looking for something to kind of give them a clue as to what that next direction is, and tapping into your intuition for that can be a tremendous tool and aid in that. Sometimes people might have achieved a certain level of success, and so maybe they aren't feeling quite as fulfilled as they used to, because maybe a lot of their efforts and successes were very physically based, but they're looking for something more. They're probably at that point looking for a larger purpose in their life and maybe their career. And so tapping into their intuition can help them connect to that larger purpose, so that everything that they do moving forward can be a much greater success, including even their personal fulfillment and happiness piece of that as well. And also, just people who are really looking to maybe grow or improve their business too, because even if they're still in that building phase, they're just looking for that next step to really propel themselves forward. Their intuition could be a great tool to help them with that.
And I would add anybody who works with people. So we have helped hundreds of teachers, coaches, healers, because you have to be able to use your intuition to really connect with people to help them. And so anybody who is in the people profession will enjoy expanding the intuition.
I love that. Well, I'm super excited for the class. If you want to come learn how to tune into your intuition with all the benefits that Patrick and Catherine just shared, join us on July 14th at 12 p.m. Pacific time on Zoom. We can't wait to listen and learn from you guys and live our best lives by tapping into our intuition. So click the link below, and we can't wait to see you in this free masterclass. Thanks for being here, guys.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks.